Shattered Vows, 4 and 5, Part 4, The Silent Revenge. It wasn't rage that destroyed Claire, it was Ethan's absence. She came to his apartment one night, mascara streaked, her voice trembling. "Ethan, please, I made a mistake, but I love you. We can fix this." He looked at her for a long moment, his face unreadable. Once, her tears would have broken him. Once, he would have pulled her into his arms. But now his eyes were calm, cold. "No," he said simply. Then he closed the door. Her sobs echoed in the hallway long after, but Ethan didn't open it again. She texted, called, emailed. At first she was angry, then pleading, then silent herself, but she never stopped watching. At parties, she lingered near him, her smile brittle as she watched him laugh with friends. Once she saw him talking to another woman, his hand brushing hers, and Claire fled the room in tears. Ethan didn't chase her. He didn't even glance her way. Every time he posted a photo of a trip, every time he smiled in a picture without her, it cut Claire open. His silence was her punishment. His thriving without her was his revenge. And slowly, the power shifted. Ethan was no longer the man broken by betrayal. He was the man who had taken back control, who had denied her the one thing she couldn't live without: his love. Part 5, Broken by Absence. Months later, Claire sat in her apartment scrolling through Ethan's feed. He was smiling on a mountain trail, arms wide, the caption reading, "New Beginnings." She zoomed in on his face, searching for sadness, for regret. But there was nothing. He looked happy. Truly happy, and she wasn't part of it. Her phone buzzed. It was the man she had cheated with. She stared at the name, at the shallow words he always sent, and felt bile rise in her throat. She ignored it. For the first time, she understood what she had thrown away. Ethan hadn't just been a boyfriend. He had been safe, loyal, steady. He had been building a future for them, one she'd burned for nothing more than a fleeting thrill. Now he was gone. Not angrily, not bitterly, simply gone. And that absence was worse than any punishment she could have imagined. She pressed her face into her hands and sobbed, realizing that the love she had betrayed wasn't something she would ever find again. Meanwhile, Ethan stood at an airport terminal, boarding pass in hand. His heart was lighter than it had been in months. The scars would remain, but he was free. As the plane lifted into the sky, he looked out the window, watching the world fall away. Somewhere far below, Claire was crying, but Ethan didn't know. He didn't care. Her betrayal had shattered him, but his revenge, quiet, elegant, merciless, was leaving her broken by the silence of his absence. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and a comment of what you thought of the story, and don't forget to subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it.